Hello, this is Peter and our team here with us. We're going to talk about what the best practices on how to book loads. Before we get into that, I just wanted to speak a little bit about the past, what we spoke of, the importance of y'all understanding how the setup is at PDP Trucking. And by now, as you know, we do not have drivers. We only have self-dispatched owner-operators, which means you are in the full control over how, when, and where you drive. You have absolutely everything to say about how you book loads. We're not here to make you do this, but we want you to make the most out of it. So I hope that you do learn, you get something out of this. If there's any questions, there's going to be some comments later. Yes, but you are not a driver. At PDP, you are not a driver, which is why with the freedom that you have, you have full control. And there's a couple different reasons why that's the case. Yes, it's on model, but also it has to do with the common law rule in US, which talks about the behavior of control, the financial control, the in-fact relationship between PDP and yourself. Yes, and also there's the IRS 20-factor questions test that we have pretty much passed to the best that we can. And if you have any questions about these, just let us know. We can send them to you later on. But yeah, so again, better practices for booking loads. And I have Maya and Mary here, and I want them to kind of just speak about some of the things.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Maya here at PDP, if you've never seen me before, and this is my colleague, Miss Mary. You've definitely heard us over the phone, but today we're here to talk to you about better practices for booking loads. If you guys haven't heard, we've recently started dispatching. I do have a few drivers that I dispatch for. Miss Mary also has one herself. So we're going to get into not only load boards, but freight waves. Also, again, I'm going to bring up auto truck posts. Just definitely, you want to make sure you have every outlet available, so that way you're not limited on freight. That's number one. So again, if you're not on a load board, please reach out to me. I will do my best. I will say we have been getting a little bit backed up. I don't want to get off track about what the topic is for today. But please do reach out. We will be getting a new person here with us soon. So first thing, better practices. I can get into the load boards right now, which you're going to want to look at broker-customer relationships as well. Sorry, I have to find my camera, guys. You also are going to want to get into auto truck posts. And you can also contact shipping specialists, Mary and myself, and then you can we can find loads for you too. We can be another outlet for you. I will say that if myself or Miss Mary books a load for you, there will be a 4% charge added to that percentage, to your 12% admin fee and your 3% factoring fee.
Okay.
So, did you want to get into freight waves, or let's get into some of the load boards? First ones that we have, which most of you are on, is DAT Power, DAT Trucker's Edge. And of course, you all know that Power is going to give you just a little bit more, but that is only available to you on desktop. Okay, and that is $75 a month. If you guys have it, I hope that you are using it to the max, because you have something on there that is called
Auto refresh.
No, it's you get access to the live loads, but you also have something called Market Conditions Map. If you go on there, it's going to tell you truckload ratios, truck to load ratios, and on there you're going to be able to see when's the best time to book your loads. The more loads you have with fewer trucks, you're going to have more of a negotiation with the broker. You're going to have room for that, so you can definitely ask for more. But the later you get into the day, you're going to see that truck to load ratio is going to differ. You're going to have more trucks and less loads, and then therefore the ball is in the broker's court, because he can definitely find another truck to possibly do the load cheaper. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're getting access to loads at the best times. Okay, so that market conditions map that's only available on DAT Power, and that's when you're logged in on
Web
the
browser.
desktop.
Yeah, web browser.
Yes, you have to be logged in under the web browser. Trucker's Edge, that one is $50 a month. And I'm just going over this again. It's not an orientation. Trust me, I'm not going to do it orientation style. But the truck stop is $50 a month, and that one is mobile access only. Okay, you're not going to get access to the live loads. You're going to have to refresh it manually all the time. And you do not get access to that market conditions map. Okay, and that market conditions map is basically going to tell you where the loads are going to be at. Okay, it's also something that FreightWaves gives, which we'll get into FreightWaves here shortly. But another load board that we do is Truck Stop. Okay, but I find that Truck Stop is best for our step decks and flatbeds, freight like that. That's what Truck Stop was initially designed for. DAT, you're going to find more loads better for dry van and reefer. Okay, and then we also have the free load boards. We have Uber, JB Hunt, we have Coyote, Echo, Transfix, CH Robinson. I'm working on a few others, trying to get access to those. Again, we've been pretty busy. We do plan on bringing on another person because you guys are starting to outnumber us big time. So, but moving on from there, we also have something called Auto Truck Post. I know that most of you have heard this. If you are new with PDP and you haven't heard about this, please reach out to me. This is something that Peter designed to give access to brokers that we approve of, and give them access to basically see your location and where you're going to be getting empty. And that's very key because you'll also get loads brought to you. You're not going to have to waste time on those load boards. You'll actually have brokers contacting you, and that's major. And if you want access to that, please email me, let me know, so that way I can get you added on there. We work with multiple different companies. Again, a lot of the same ones that I have access to on those load boards for your apps. I have access to them. I have access to LoadSmart. I have access to Molo Solutions. Just countless others. I want to say I have at least 15 different ones. So if you are interested, please contact myself, contact Miss Mary. You know our extensions. We're at extension 2. If you want to reach out to us directly, you can look on your carrier load info page on the first page of your truck binder and get that information.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you all the answers. So, but we're going to move on from this and we can go into...
Well, let me mention something just to make sure. On the free, all of the free ones that you have,
Yes.
you mentioned there's a lot, and both of you are the ones who manage those. So if
Correct.
anybody has any questions, they contact you, right?
Yes,
about
they
all of them.
contact us. You can email us.
And they have a lot of cool stuff that basically
Book It Now.
allows you, book it now. That's a new thing that's going on. Tell us more about that. Like, what is that?
Yeah, so Book It Now is actually, that's something that Uber has implemented quite a bit. You aren't able to contact anybody on Uber. But not only Uber does that now, JB Hunt is also following suit.
Transfix.
Transfix, DAT.
Truck stop.
Truck Stop is also implementing it. It's very new with Truck Stop. And very new with DAT, but every once in a while you'll see on there, if you don't want to contact a broker and you're comfortable with what the rate is and the miles, your empty miles and everything, you can literally, there's a button there and you just click Book It Now, okay, and that they'll send you the rate con instantly. It's an instant book. If you've ever booked with Uber, you know what I'm talking about. But it's something so that way you don't, if you're nervous, if you've never really booked loads, that's just an available option for you.
Yeah, because that's good that you mentioned that, because I myself, whenever I'm out there trying to do all of this and unhooking, hooking, delivering, turning in this paperwork, checking in, and then I'm having to go and make all of these calls, and sometimes it's just not comfortable to just, hey, I just want the best paying load, okay? Just why are you nickel diming and everything? So it's much easier when you have that Book It Now, and also you can do that at any time. It's not like you have to do it only during prime time. You can do that even after hours and not have to worry on somebody, not answering the call.
Yeah, you can't contact somebody. And you'll even see on DAT they have where it's email only. You have to email us in order to contact somebody with dispatch for that company. And Book It Now it just erases all that. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to email anybody. If you like the rate that it's at, you like the appointment times, the pickup and delivery location, just one simple click, the load is yours.
Okay.
You know, you don't have to outbid anybody. There's no bidding or anything like that.
Yeah, and so about the Ultra Truck Post, you mentioned that too, and I wanted to add on that so that y'all understand. It's only the selected people, selected brokers. Okay, we don't allow just anybody on there. And in fact, when we just rolled it out, we actually kicked some people out of there.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, and we're always managing to make. If you're cheap, if you're taking advantage of, or being a problem broker, you're out of there.
Yeah.
So
and if you do feel that you have a problem with somebody that is on there, please make us aware of
yes.
it so that way we can contact them. If we can't get that right, then they will be removed, or they can specifically be removed from being able to view your truck availability. So we are able to do that. So if for some reason we add you to all of our contacts on Auto Truck Post, and you don't want to book with a specific one like C.H. Robinson or Schneider or Molo by chance, you can tell me, I don't want this person, this person, and this person contact me. The rest are fine. I can do that for you. I can remove them from seeing your truck.
Yeah, it's not just one blanket.
Yes.
Everybody fits for all and type of. No, I mean it's very customized, and we can select it specifically for you, who you want or you don't want.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly, and that's what makes Auto Truck Post good, and it's loads brought to you based on where you're getting empty next.
And the idea is basically it gives the brokers, especially right now, because they're looking for trucks. There's not enough trucks out there. So if they call you, that's probably because the market is, as it is right now, and because they're really craving for trucks. And you can negotiate and stuff like that with them because they called you.
Yes, balls in your court at that point.
Yes. And the idea is it gives them the location where you are going to be, at the last drop going to be. And based on that, let's say you deliver tomorrow in Atlanta. They see that, and they'll be able to see, oh, okay, I have a load from Atlanta, so I can call them up and offer the load. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
okay.
So that's Auto Truck Post in a nutshell. Again, if any of you are interested, if you're having trouble finding loads, that is definitely an outlet for you to reach out to and to jump on, because again, if you're in the negative, if you're in a bad area, if you're going into Florida, Colorado, we do advise that you do stay out of those areas. But if by chance you find yourself there because you couldn't find another load, definitely keep that option, keep an open mind to that option.
Yep. All right, so I wanted to show about freight waves and just where the market is today, right? So who has the question? Who knows? Where is the market today? So a lot of you will know that, let me switch to this really quick. Yeah, so this is vans, the blue to blue map. Y'all seen this, me send you this before. But as you can see, the outbound tender volume index is kind of high, but then it dropped recently. The tender rejection index is staying there above still. But if you look at the reefer, it's actually telling us the similar story. It's loading, where it's still, it was going up and it just a little bit dropped. So that basically says that the market is almost ripe, okay? But I think that with everything that's been going on, it's in many ways still kind of unstable. There's still a lot of unknowns. So if we look at this report that I sent out from FreightWaves last Friday, looking at this, we have 85% for DHA supply chain pricing power index. So the closer we get to the 100, the better it is for the carriers. And we're at the, we have the power right now, the owner operators. It's in your best interest right now, basically, to drive right now, because you stand a chance to win the most. And then if you look at this, I mean, as you can see, the volume has dipped a little, but a lot of it has to do with the holidays. We just came out of holidays too, so that's another thing. Last week. Yes, but looking at this report, there's a lot of good stuff that I would recommend for everybody to read through this and what you're doing, and just kind of seeing what you're actually doing and how you can make the most out of it in your area, wherever you're driving, because everybody's doing their own thing. You know, we don't have a single person doing exactly the same thing as the other. Everybody has their own niche depending on where you live, what kind of trailer you got, you know, and what kind of truck, how far you want to drive, how often you want to drive, all of that. So FreightWaves is definitely one of cool places to look at. I really like the header. Spot rates above 3 miles in 46 out of 100 lanes. I mean, that says it all right there, a lot at least. FreightWaves, this is their website. You know, this is, and there's a lot of interesting stuff you can read about transportation. They cover everything around transportation. Yes, and then looking at debt, FreightWaves analysis. So in September, we're starting off on average to be much better than it was last month. But you can see, you know, over $2 a mile pretty much across the board for all of different trailers. So that's good news. And then this report, which came out on the, let me see, September 10th. Yes, trends. Look at this, vans. So yeah, we're close to 225 on average nationwide. A reefer over 225. Yeah, this is more like 230 something on average. And then we got flatbed and step deck about I want to say 215, 217, something like that on average. So here's the thing. This means if your rates on average are much lower than these, for depending on which trailer you're doing, that means you have some room for improvement, right? Yeah, so you can do something to improve your chances. Check it out. Definitely look into it.
Not to cut you off, Peter, but I do want to jump in and say that the goal is always to be over $2 a mile. But with the way that the market is right now and how good that it's going, you want to aim for $3, $4 even. I mean, I've spoken, and Mary's spoken to owner-operators who have definitely gotten way more than $2 a mile on average. So you're going to want to pay attention to not only the rate per mile, but if you do, you want to always pay attention also to the location that you're going to. Whenever I'm on the load board and I see that, you know, I'm sending my drivers, you know, to, let's say east. Right now, if my drivers are particularly central based, they are out of Houston, so not to give too much away, but I try not to send them east because they typically don't like to run east. A lot of owner operators, you have your triangle, you have where you want to go. And you guys will typically go out of your range because you see a load paying $3, $4 a mile sometimes, or maybe even $2.50 a mile. And you want to ask yourself, wait, why is that load paying that good? Look into that area. There may be, yeah, they're paying good money going in because there's nothing coming out. And you don't want to find yourself in a bad area. So just because you see big dollar signs, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the next best choice to go to. Okay, that's what I do when I look at my loads. I see, oh wait, you know, there's a 500-mile run and it's paying $2,300. And I'm like, wait, why is it paying $2,300? You know, and so, and it's, let's say it's going into Georgia. I know a lot of people go into Georgia and everything like that, but you're not making any money unless you're going to stay on that eastern border, going up to New York, Pennsylvania, Vermont, or going down south into Florida. And I advise for people not to really go that far south into Florida if you're going to go into Jacksonville. But even still, you know, you're going to be losing money coming out. Now, if that's a risk that you want to take, I mean, by all means, you are your own owner operator. You can run the way that you like. But don't just pay attention to the big numbers, okay? We're trying to teach you how to be profitable, how to maximize per load, you know, and all rules are very different, but they kind of are similar, and I know I'm contradicting myself when I say that, but we don't have strictly dry van drivers. We don't strictly have reefer drivers, you guys run differently. But
I don't think it's contradicting though. I think a lot of it has to do just really case by case.
It is case by case, but don't get, like I'm saying, don't get distracted by the big numbers and say, oh, it's paying $3-4 a mile to go into Colorado. Yeah, but you might have to deadhead 300 miles out just to, find your next run, unless you're going to take that loss for $1 a mile run.
Well, and then I've seen some guys go into Florida for like $1 a mile. So the broker probably made his whole profit for the whole year right there on that one load.
I agree.
And then you're kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't book anything out of it, and it's everything under $1 a mile now. Well, yes, it's true. So if you do go into those bad areas, make sure you make the most out of it.
Yes,
make sure.
The most, absolutely. So just know that there are certain areas you're going to have to take a loss on, and if you're okay with that, I mean, again, you are an owner-operator. You can run however you like. I just want you to maximize per run and not just think, oh, I'm going to make big money on this so I can deadhead or make less amount on my next run. It doesn't have to be that way. You can maximize every single run. And you want to always make sure that your what you gross per week, that you're also including your what your end of the week payments are. Okay, you want to make sure that you're budgeting right. If you're in a reefer, and that's why it's so very important to keep up with your maintenance on your truck and everything, because you want to make sure you're getting the most mileage out of your truck that you can, that's not going to waste your fuel. And I don't really want to get into that, because I'll spiral out on that, but but definitely keep up on your maintenance. I don't want to veer off the subject. But you don't want to run, what's the word that I'm looking for when people just run their trucks? Idle. You don't want to idle your truck, and just sit there just because, you want to see winter's coming. Roll your windows down.
They're owner-operators, so technically they can, and we can't tell you anything about it. It's up to you to lose that money. I mean,
that is very true.
It'll be sad, though. Yes, but... so a couple of questions here, and you kind of already started answering a lot of that.
Like I said, I get ahead of myself.
Yes,
sometimes.
but I wanted to have maybe Mary pitch in, and Maya, you'll add to it maybe later. But how do you book loads, and why some BTOs are more profitable than others?
So starting with how you book loads, I'm just going to go based off of my own experience, and a lot of this I have learned from Maya. Some of y'all may not know, but I've really only been here for 6 months, and I've learned a lot since I got in. So preferably how I like to book loads, I do have one owner op that I book for while I manage the rest of y'all. I like to make sure that he makes at least $1,000 on every load that he books. I find that really helps as far as him profiting money on his loads. I see some of y'all guys go 300 miles for like $500, and I'm like, you could have gone a little more and got like double that. So I do suggest at least trying to make $1,000 on each load that you book. When I am booking loads and I do see one load going to a certain area, like somewhere in Arkansas or somewhere in Kansas, I do suggest looking ahead to make sure that there is something coming out of that area before you book a load. There have been multiple times where I'm on the phone with one broker booking another load, and on the phone have one broker on hold for the next load after that, so that I can get the best of both worlds and make sure that I have something going in and something coming out. So I highly suggest that if y'all are booking a load, make sure that you look ahead in that area to see if there's anything coming out in general. And sometimes it is a little too early to check and see if there's something coming in, but you always want to make sure that you're going to profit going in and coming out.
Okay, and what about why some BTOs, make more profitable than others?
And again, all of this is just personal preferences and opinions, and I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong, but I do feel that some BTOs, I do notice that a lot of y'all like one area. Y'all do not like to stray out of your stomping grounds, should I say. So I would suggest you going out more, veering off into different locations. If you've been in the East Coast, try coming Midwest or the central area where there's good money, like Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. There's always money coming out of these 3 states, and me and Maya personally like to keep our owner ops in that area because we know that there's always something that they can get. A lot of people, they're not booking a great rate per mile. Y'all just see what the rate is, and y'all aren't actually calculating how much you're going to profit off of the load. So,
and a lot of this really does come down, sorry to cut you
No, you're
off,
good.
Mary, but a lot of this really does come down to budgeting. You have to budget, okay? We can tell you from, all day long, book a good rate per mile. And you could book a great rate per mile, $3 a mile, $4 a mile. But if you are not budgeting yourself, on your fuel, on what it's going to cost, you're constantly pulling heavy loads. I mean, that can burn out your throttle. You're going into mountain areas and stuff like that, which I'm not saying avoid those areas. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, look at the weight. Don't always just pick, oh, it's $3 a mile and the weight is 45,000 pounds. Your trailer is only going to last you for so long, and if you're not,
probably want more than three.
yeah, you're going to want more than $3 a mile. So, you have to pay, it's a million different factors, but bottom line, book a good rate per mile. Don't let your weight be so heavy every single load. Look at the locations that you're going to. Pay attention to your weekly expenses. Not only just your fuel is always going to be your daily expense, but look at those weekly expenses that you have and make sure that what you're grossing per week, and with our fees and everything taken out, what you're going to be left with. Okay? Because at the end of the day, what you're left with, your fuel comes out of that. It's instantaneous. It comes out daily. Okay? So there's so many factors. Rate per mile is a good key, but also budgeting and how you run your loads.
I have also something to add for that. And I think all that you guys are saying, all of it kind of comes under one umbrella, I think. And that is, if you are truly an owner-operator and you really try to not just, oh, I'm an owner-operator. No. Actually, book loads like an owner-operator. Drive like an owner-operator. Drive like you own the business, like you are your own boss. Then all of a sudden, how much you idle, how much you spend on fuel, your budgeting, your home time, where you run, everything is like, you see the bigger picture and you start, oh my gosh, everything's how important everything is.
I love that you said bigger picture, because if you're being narrow-minded and just thinking, oh, I made over $2 a mile on this one. I barely made $2.06 a mile on this. I should be good if I keep booking my loads. $2. Aim for higher, especially while the market is good. We just came out of,
Harsh market.
Yeah, it's a very, very harsh market. It wasn't in our favor at all. Right now it's in our favor. Definitely aim high, check your locations, and look at the bigger picture. Don't be narrow-minded, and for lack of a better word, don't be narrow-minded and just looking at one aspect of trucking. You have to look at the whole.
Going into what she says as far as aim for higher, there are some times where she calls on loads and it's posted at like $1,600 and she asks, I want $2,000, and I'm just like, and sometimes she'll get it, so it's crazy, and it never hurts to ask, because the worst that they can tell you is no. Or a lot of these brokers do bluff what they can pay on these loads. So they'll lowball you, but if you aim high, you can meet them in the middle as far as what they can actually pay.
And I want to say that I've been in this business for a little over a year, and honestly, I have learned from some of the best owner-operators here at PDP, because I'm not saying that you guys don't know your business. You definitely do. But again, I do come across some that just see one aspect. They're just looking at one aspect of the business. They're not looking at the whole picture. And because I have access to all of you guys, I see the big picture from one owner-operator that another might not see, but then I see his point. And when I put that together, honestly, my drivers have profited so much. They really have. They've done very well for themselves, and they veer off into areas. They don't, just stay to one area. Now, they were comfortable like that in the beginning, but when I showed them how much that they could make by veering off and doing things our way of what Peter has been trying to implement, they're really seeing the rewards and reaping those rewards.
And here's with all due respect, okay, we understand that you are the boss. Okay, you are your own boss. Okay, we're not trying to step over that or anything. Okay, We understand that you're not drivers. Okay, you are owner operators, self-dispatch owner operators, and that's very, very important to us. Okay, that's very, very important to us. So, but let me also emphasize on that you are not a driver. You are not a driver. Yeah. You are not a driver. You are an owner operator.
I did say driver quite a few times. Owner operators, my apologies.
Yes. But that's very, very important because you have much bigger control over all of this situation than a driver does. And, you know, I've seen a lot of guys that do start, especially when they start coming from another company where they say they were owner operators, but they were really treated as drivers. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to do this here at PDP. First of all, that's very hard, and you know, it's a big change, a transition for those guys. But you got to understand that you are not a driver. You're an owner operator. You have much more, I mean, just capabilities. And I am just amazed. Recently, ever since the country started to open up, I've seen people getting paid. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, daily, even weekly. I mean, I was like, we even go when Sam, guess how much this one got paid? And I'm looking at those numbers like, wow, maybe I should start driving again.
I think we've all said that in this office.
Yes, you were talking about getting a CDL. Yes. So you can really make good money right now.
You really can.
And honestly, in this time when you're making this good money, save. Put it away, because every cycle has its ending. We're in a very good cycle right now. You definitely want to be putting your money away, okay? And build, I cannot stress it enough, build broker customer relationships.
Yes.
Build them. They're gonna save you in those harsh times that we just came out of. They're really gonna save you. So I cannot stress that enough. You know, you always want to communication. That is 95, almost 99% of this business. Communicate, okay? If you come across a good broker, you want to share that, please share that info with us so we can help other owner operators. But, you know,
but that's the key. They have to want to be helped.
That is true. That is very true.
Yes, and the market, you mentioned about the market, it's true, the market is going to be, I mean, look, I can't predict the future, but from what I do know, being in business for 14 years, I do know that right now the cycle, we're basically just at the beginning of a cycle to start, you know, going up all the time. And it's probably, I mean, for some reason, it kind of coincides with the president's election. But again, it doesn't really matter who gets elected. I mean, I've said that before. After that, it's going to go up. And just like we had the 2016 kind of there. But then when it hit 2017, 18, that thing went up. And we're about to experience a similar thing. I mean, it all depends, probably be its whole cycle in its own. Yes. I mean, it all depends on a lot of different things. But bottom line, you have quite a bit time right now to profit. Yes. I would say around, I just can't really predict again, but I would say around 24 months-ish, give or take. But here's the thing. If you don't make money right now, if you do not, or if you're, for some reason you're not making money right now, please let us know. We will try to help you, you know, teach you, coach you, something, anything, because there's just absolutely no reason why you should not be making money. That's the thing. Because if you don't make money right now, just wait until we hit another 2019. You don't want to
forget about it. Forget about it. It's going to be harsh times again.
Yes.
I had one of my drivers literally start owner operators. I apologize. Owner operators. Excuse me. But I had one of my owner operators start with me just when COVID hit. And I thought the market was going to go up because I'm like, oh, stores are really going to be needing things. You know, toilet paper was selling out everywhere. So I figured, oh, he's going to have a lot of runs. But the market went down and you were barely making $1. You were lucky to be making $1.20.
And in that market, because I stuck to my guns and I didn't want to take any less than $1.60 a mile during that time because the fuel costs were down. Please pay attention to your fuel costs, by the way, because that's a big part of it.
Yep. Fuel to gross ratio.
Yes, you want to pay attention to your fuel to gross ratio. But because I did that and I didn't take less than what I knew that they had in there, you know, my driver managed to make his gross average of over $4,000 every single week. Okay, so don't be hasty to book anything. Okay.
Now, he probably had to expand his.
He did have to expand. Yeah, he did have to expand his
preferences.
From where he was wanting to go. So before he didn't want to go north, he wanted to stay east. And then, you know, the market was doing okay going east. But once I got him north and he saw the possibilities of what he could be making, I mean, Midwest area is booming constantly.
Especially for reefers.
Yes, especially for reefers. Now, my owner-operators that I book for, they go as far as Nebraska and Iowa. Okay? We're about to get into the questions portion of this because we do have to start wrapping it up. Again, there's a big picture to this. There's not enough that I can stress on how to better practice. It's a huge topic, and that's, you know, and freight waves. Please look at Daily Watch, freight waves. That's going to help you tremendously.
I do know that there are some of y'all who are calling in and saying, well, why am I not getting freight waves? Me and Maya do have access to remove you and re-add you to waves to make sure that you are getting these articles daily, because they do come out in the morning every single day. I have one owner-operator who still to this day does not get them, and every morning I forward him the link so that he can have it, because this is information that y'all need. It'll really help as far as what y'all need to be doing in this market right now.
Yeah, and we can add you to those if need to, but I think the biggest thing that I've seen is some of the emails get blocked or spammed or some. If you spam it once, I mean, you have to go into your email and unspam all of them and put it as important, filter it as important so it doesn't get spammed again. But yes, you'll have to play with your email if you ever did that. So yes, we actually went over time a little. But we want to get to a little bit questions, so we're gonna open it up. Let me see.
Is there anything I need to do on my end?
No, it's okay. I got it.
Okay.
Okay, I opened up for everybody to talk. Hold on. You mute
it's
it.
gonna be on there.
Yeah, mute it.
It's on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody wants to have any questions? Go ahead.
Hey, Tish.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm alright, tired, trying to book loads.
I hope this was
How are y'all?
informative.
What's up, Peter? I got my inspection, Peter.
Good.
I'll send it over.
Sounds good. Kevin, Josapha.
No questions because I came in late.
You came in late?
This will be available.
Yeah, no questions for me.
Yes, this will be available for everybody to see on Facebook, and yes, we'll post this to everybody. It's a big, important topic. Yes, who has a question?
Yeah, I'm interested in finding more out about getting set up on that direct line with brokers you started out with.
Absolutely, and I can get you started out on all of them, all the contacts that we have. And then if you end up finding someone that you don't want to work with again, please let me know and I can remove them from seeing your truck availability. Okay?
Okay. Now, would that be right through Dad and I would have to set up a program?
No, you actually don't have to do anything on your end. Everything is done here from the office, and the brokers will automatically get access whenever they log in onto our auto truck post. When they log into their site, they're going to see your truck availability. If they have anything that matches you, they will contact you directly. They're going to have your phone number. They're going to know what trailer type that you're hauling. They're going to have all of that information, okay?
Just enough. Okay.
Just
we're not
to have everything.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to track you and all this other stuff. So it's not it's not
invasive at
yes
all. You know, they're
yes
not gonna
it's
have,
just enough info for the last stop where you're going to be at, and that's it. Yeah.
And Auto Truck Post is not an application or anything. It is something that PDP set up itself. Nobody else has access to us except us here in the office. So.
correct.
Yep.
Should I call you tomorrow, Maya, or wait a day or something, or?
Absolutely, yeah. Call me first thing in the morning. I'm here at 6 a.m. in the morning. I know phones don't start working until 7, so you can reach out to me at that time.
Okay.
All
And
right.
just one question, Peter. Before we after we hang up, are you gonna be in the office? I call you about that ELD problem I had.
Yes, I'll call you as soon as we get off here.
Okay.
Yep.
And if any of you guys do have questions at all, please feel free and email dispatch, or just myself and Mary. Any questions that you have, we'd be happy to answer them after this, because you know you may not have any now, but you'll for sure have some later. Just reach out to us anytime.
Yep. Alrighty. Anybody else?
Peter,
Yes.
did you ever check about the odometer for me? It still didn't change.
Yes, actually, I sent out an email. We had one other owner operator who was trying to. I was trying to fix it, and that didn't work. Because I don't know why it keeps saying on your side that you have to call the admin. I tried to do everything on my end. I couldn't. Yeah, but then he called Big Road, and I put that phone number in there, customer support, and they were able to do something on their end, something that I didn't have access to. So I was gonna ask.
I'm
I'm
having that same problem.
It's the odometer is different.
The miles are a lot more than what my dashboard says.
Yes, yes. So first of all, yeah. So first of all, I've seen that whenever y'all switch to this new app, it has to be this new device. You have to uninstall Big Road app and then install it. So if you haven't done that yet, please do that. And then I send out a phone number with a customer support number to Big Road, and call that number, and then they'll be able to do it to do something on their end to synchronize that. Yeah, and then let me know, make sure it worked or not, so that I know also.
What did you send that number to? In the email, or?
I sent a mass email today, just about 4 p.m. Dallas time, just before we started here.
Okay, I'll check for that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
And everyone, if there was anything that you guys have emailed on and that we haven't got to, please re-email us. I did say you guys are starting to outnumber us some, so there's a lot of requests, and I might misplace some. I might, some might slip through the cracks, and I do apologize for that. We are planning on expanding shipping specialists, so that way we can better accommodate you guys. So if there was anything that slipped through the cracks on our end, I do apologize, but we're going to get on top of that and get it all taken care of.
Yep.
Maybe we're doing something right on our end. I don't know, but so I expect all profits this coming week.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna.
I'll be calling you tomorrow in the morning.
Yeah, right.
I'll be calling you tomorrow.
Everybody should be
Yep.
profiting.
Yeah, so we're gonna end it here. Yes, I think this is a big topic, and then next week, next Monday, we're actually going to open it up to just open up the floor to maybe catch up with all the other topics that we had, plus this and anything else. Anybody that comes up with any other questions. So
I feel
yes.
30 minutes is definitely not enough time
Not
to
at
get
all.
everything in. I mean, when Peter hired
We
me for
tried
this
to.
job, he told me it's going to take years before you know it all. And it's so true, because every day I'm learning something new. I'm learning of a new outlet, and the business changes every year. Like I said, Book It Now is something that some companies have barely started to implement this year. Uber's been doing it for quite some time. JB Hunt just recently started doing it this year. So it's constantly changing. We're constantly changing. As you can see, I know we've implemented a lot of changes in the past month and a half. And I do apologize because I'm not looking at you directly. And
Alrighty. Thank you, y'all. See you next.
Stop learning. 22 years and I'm still learning.
Yeah, see?
see,
Well,
years,
thanks,
and
Bob.
I'm still learning. The regulations, the equipment, it never quits. My
Yeah.
mom told me, when you think you know everything, you will fight you in the butt, big time. Never
That's
stop
true.
learning, never.
That's true. I can definitely agree with that. 14 years, that's still not enough. Yeah, so we'll see you next Monday. Also 6 p.m. It's going to be open floor for this and many other questions. We'll probably have some stuff to talk about though too. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Have a blessed day. Drive safe. Make all the money. Come on.
I'll see you guys later in the week.
See ya.
You too.
Talk to you tomorrow, Kevin.
Have a good night.
Yep.